Let me ask you a little bit about your creative process. Uh,
Yes.
What is the songwriting process like in vain? Who composes the music and the lyrics? You are the main composer, the music and the lyrics?
Yeah, yeah. So yes, on all the albums so far,
Mm-hmm.
I've written all the music, and I would say 80% of the lyrics, or 80, yeah. So, but on Solemn, so on Solemn, Sindre, he wrote four lyrics, four
Mm-hmm.
of the songs. So he contributed quite a lot on the lyrics. I wrote the remaining five. And then our bass player, he contributed with a couple of parts, like on two songs, he had like two riffs.
Yeah.
Besides that, I've written all the music. And then, so I write, obviously, when I write the song, I write the guitars, but I have ideas. I'll send a final demo to the other members with, like, if I have some horns on, strings. And typically, Cinder, who lives in the same town as I do, we will come together, and he will record vocals. I have a lot of ideas, but he might also have some ideas, and we will put them on. But every member has their own freedom to kind of express their instrument as they see fit. Like I would probably have, I mean, maybe the bass, that's the only instrument I don't really write bass lines. I'm probably not as good at it anyway, and I don't really have time. But for all the other instruments, especially the drums, I think drums are extremely important for guitar
Yeah.
riffs. So I would have clear ideas on how I would want the drums to sound, but at the end of the day, it's the drummer's decision. And I write a lot of melodies for the guitars as well. But sometimes Kjetil, which is kind of our lead guitar player, he might tweak them a little bit. Maybe he will add some stuff here and there. He writes his own solos, of course. So it's more like other members might add some stuff, but writing the songs have always been me since the start.
Wow, that's amazing. Um, in bass lyrics tend to be very introspective and existential. What are the main themes you explore in your lyrics, and how important are they to you? And maybe where do this is inspiration for the lyrics come from?
We put a lot of effort into our music, so we don't want to just have some really shitty or lyrics to go along with them. So we try, to write meaningful lyrics, uh, and
Okay.
I mean, they have to go along with the song. Sometimes you want to find lyrics that fits the song's music in a way.
Mhm.
Maybe if it's a very aggressive song, maybe different types of lyrics might fit it better. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of the inspiration is from our lives. Life's ups and downs. Um, I have a lot of stuff I can think about. I think the human nature and nature, but the mind of mankind. How it works, how you can be your own best kind of friend and enemy. How your thoughts can kind of impact your well-being if you're maybe overthinking or whatever. Um, we can have more like philosophical themes. Some songs might have a little bit like not we never deal with religion or politics because we don't have any message there, and every band member have such different opinions on it anyway.
Okay.
But we have some like songs that have a more like uh, view of where the world is heading in a more kind of top down view. And but the lyrics are really all over the place. There's no like common message or anything. And then many of them are very personal. For instance, on the last album, we had very personal lyrics. For instance, Cinder's song "Season of Unrest" is a very personal one, where you can read the
Was
lyrics.
amazing song. That's a really
Yeah,
good one.
he's telling a very tough story that he experienced in his life with health issues. and how he overcame them. And unfortunately, now he has troubles again. But that's one example of a very personal lyric.
Yeah, really good. So far you have released 5 albums through your career.
Yeah.
I know this question is gonna be hard, but which one do you consider to be your best album today and why?
The best?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's very hard to answer because I don't think, like I said, music is not like sport. You can't say
Hmm.
in sport you can say the one who comes to the finish line the first, he won or she won. You know, but you can't measure music in the same way. But of course, I understand fans will always this is the best and whatever. Also, another thing I would highlight is you have to look at what time an album was released. There are a lot of old albums that I like a lot, but if they had been released today, I thought they wouldn't be good enough. And so it's a lot about the time, the expectations you had leading up to an album.
Hmm.
Um, but I think now I would have to say either Enigma or Solemn, one of those
Okay.
two.
Those
And
are most meaningful to you and for the band.
I don't know for the other members, but for me, I think if I had to be honest, I would say, I mean, our first album, The Letter Rain, I think, with better production, that could also be up there. I mean, I don't like the production on that album. With really good production, that could also be a top candidate. But I think we achieved something really special on Enigma. I see it mentioned still more than like 12 years after its release.
Hmm.
I often see it's mentioned as a classic in progressive extreme metal. It when I don't listen to it or any of our music actually, but if I ever put it on, I still think that the album sounds fresh. So when something sounds fresh many years after, that's a good sign. It's like timeless music.
Cool.
So I think that one and Solemn, I would say, I think those are equals.
That's cool. Let's talk about Solemn.
Yes.
Solemn showcases a wide range of musical styles, blending progressive, death metal, black metal, some unexpected elements. How did you approach this songwriting process for this album, and what were your goals in terms of creating a cohesive yet diverse musical experience?
Well, the approach was that we wanted to write an album with longevity. So we wanted an album, that people could appreciate for a long time, where they could experience new things.
That's real.
And to achieve that, you need a balance of songs. You need some songs that are, and in this day and age, a lot of people are like, they're just going to Spotify, they check out the band, they listen maybe maximum 1 minute, and then if they don't like it, they move on to the next. So you need some songs that are a little bit kind of immediate and that
Mhm.
hooks the listener. So for instance, shadows flap their black wings.
It's really
Well,
catchy.
yeah.
They these songs catch you and they don't let you go.
Exactly. So that
Yeah.
was the first song of the album, and
Hmm.
it's intended to do exactly that. And then we have other songs that requires more time. It's like a journey through a landscape. There's various things you experience.
Yeah.
Obviously, we wanted high quality music all over the line, um, and I think every song can be a journey in itself. Every song can be different from one another. And I mean, we just want to create like big songs that are interesting, catchy, but not cheesy, because there is a fine line between catchy and cheesy. We want them to be epic, but not epic in the sense that it's just too much like Lord of the Rings orchestra and like,
Yeah,
there are
I know.
fine balance between all of these various spices that you can use. The same, like still mixing a lot of different styles, but maintaining integrity, and also that there is a musical unity in the songs. But yeah, it's hard to. It's just at the end of the day about writing good music and interesting music. music that I like myself. I mean, if others like it, and also importantly, why I write this kind of music is because that's what I find interesting. I wouldn't be interested in playing in a black metal band and released, the 10th black metal album. Like I would get bored after 2 albums. I need um, new. I need to be able to express myself in the whole spectrum. So we play extreme metal, but I don't want to just play one part of extreme metal. I want to incorporate a lot of different elements. That makes it more fun as a songwriter.